G'day, Bronnie here from Rainbow Crow Studios. So today I'm going to make a video about water marbling feathers. I love water marbling feathers. I used to use them a lot when I used to do a lot of markets and sell things online and stuff like that. Although bear in mind you can't send feathers certain areas in Australia. Okay, so Firstly, what do I use my feathers for? Because people go, why are you marbling feathers? Well, Exhibit A here, you can frame them and give them as gifts. You can make them into jewellery. I've made earrings over the years, which I've absolutely loved to do, paired with the natural feathers. I've made other little things there that I've sold a lot on Etsy in the past to local sources. You can spray them here. I've sprayed this one with just a clear varnish to give it some stability and sewn on a clip that I used to put on in a hat. So these are just ideas. I've also many years ago made them into pens and they sold really well. So what else did I do with feathers? I made them into wall hangings as well. So there's and brooches, lots and lots of different things besides the usual millinery use. So now I'm going to talk about prepping feathers. So feathers have natural oils, so they need to be cleaned really well. When I'm going around the parks and picking up natural feathers, because they're so filthy, they take about 3 or 4 days. I hand wash them in hot soapy water, rinse, sun dry, and then put them in the freezer for 72 hours to make sure that they've killed any eggs and things like that. And then I prep them for the water marbling, which is using an alum solution, aluminium sulfate solution, which you will hear me call as alum. And this is a separate video on my YouTube video on my channel about doing up the alum and decanting it into a bottle, and then a spray bottle, and then at a distance I give a gentle spray onto the surface of the feathers and let that dry. The alum acts as a mordant and helps the feathers uptake the paint. Now, these are store-bought feathers and they sometimes are a bit more difficult because of the chemicals that are used by the factories to clean them can be harsher, and so sometimes the results aren't as good, but still give them a spray with the alum as a prep and make sure they're dry. So I've just put on some colours on the surface of the carrageenans. So under here, in the liquid in here, is called a size, which is made up of carrageenan and water. That is another video. So it's not water. It's not just water with paint dumped on top. It's carrageenan and water mixed, so the paint will float. The watered down acrylics will float. And the paints that I use, because they just make water marbling so easy, are the Jacquard marbling colours. You don't have to water them down, you don't have to add any gall, they float perfectly on the carrageenan. But it's the carrageenan and water mix that can take a while to get right. And that's another video, as I said. Alright, I've put paint on the surface of the size for the feathers. I'm just going to now create a basic design. Because the feathers aren't particularly large, I want something different. So what I'm going to do, I want some small, finer patterns. So I'll take my lovely homemade comb here, getting a finer pattern. And then this morning I thought, oh, I want something a bit different. So this is what I whipped up. So easy, cheap, whatever you got at home. This isn't a pull one, this is a drop and 360 to give little horsetail designs, which I really like on the feathers. You can use whatever colours and whatever designs you like. It's up to you. Alright, so now I'm going to place the feathers on there and gently, and make sure that I've got all of the feather in the size. And there's no rush to take them off either. So this black one, a store-bought one, see it's very curvy, so that's going to take a while for the edges to pick that up, but it might even miss some at the end, so that's okay. But we'll let that sit. And the last one, I reckon will fit there. Again, it's a curvy one, so I've really got to push it down. I only marble one side of the feather. That's my preference because you can see the colour comes out. So if you try and marble that side later on once it's dried and prepped again, then they sort of compete with each other, the pattern, and it looks meh. So then I just let that sit that for, there's no rush to pull that off the size, okay? I just let that sit there for a bit. And while we're waiting, I'll just go through all the things that you use. I use these colours for everything, to water marble everything. So from metal pots to linen lampshades, that's a ceramic skull, terracotta pot, oh, cement water marbles so well. That's a light, that's a plastic solar powered light, 50-cent cup that I got from the op shop. My old silk scarves that I made years ago. Obviously that's some of the original use for water marbling, or Ebru. My style is based on the beautiful Ebru style. And this is just pencil case, bark, Crocs marble so well, leaves. So yeah, feathers are just so lovely to do, but to prep them, again, as I say, to keep them nice and clean can take days. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, that's nice. I like that. Look at those colours. Pop you there. So let's lift this one up. Nice. You can see on the tip, some of the tips, because they're so curly, didn't pick up the paint, but that's fine. And what we might do, give that a little wipe. Yeah, that's better. You can, I generally don't make a point of rinsing these, but sometimes you can if you feel that they need it, but generally no. Like, because that's been sitting there, see it's picked up some on the edges, so we'll just gently wipe that off. Perfect. And that's wiped off perfectly. Because remember, it's watered down acrylic. It's not enamel, spray paint, nail polish, hydrographic papers. It's an acrylic, so it doesn't, people struggle with the fact that the paint, even if it picks up a second layer, which it normally doesn't, it just drips off. And it's not where you don't rub the paint away when you're lifting stuff up, which is what you do in spray paints, in hydro dipping. So there's the feathers, which I'm really, really happy with. They're beautiful. So I hope this video helped. Now, I'm not going to waste this paint. I hate waste. After I finish this, I'm going to re-manipulate the pattern with my tools and take a nice big paper print. Okay, cheers guys.